Now we are going to study about the silk. See, silk is obtained from silkworm, so it is a animal fiber which is obtained from silkworm. That is why this animal is concerned with the production of silk. That is why it is a animal fiber that is obtained from silkworm. Now how silk looks like, you all are familiar with silk sarees, you all are familiar with the silk cloth. So it is actually soft and lustrous, it has a shiny appearance. Now like how, first of all we should know about the life cycle of the silkworm, that how a silkworm adult is being formed. So what happened, like we have a female silk moth, female silk moth somehow looks like this, right. It lays certain eggs, it lays, and you know that in one time it can actually lay 400 to 500 eggs. Then these hatching of these eggs occur, and from this appear a larva. That means a silkworm which is in the first stage of the silkworm. After like again, see there is a female silkworm, it lay 400 to 500 eggs, and then when these are incubated, the larva emerge out from it. The larva which is obtained, it fed on a mulberry leaves for 4 to 5 weeks, and then it forms an adult. Then it forms a adult silk moth. So that means, I think you got it, what is the life cycle? Female silk moth lays 400 to 500 eggs in one time, and then after hatching a larva appears from it. Then larva is fed on mulberry leaves for 4 to 5 weeks, and then it undergoes a transformation that it forms a various developmental, you can say various stages of life, and then finally it forms an adult, that is the silkworm. Now this adult actually, this adult is capable of producing a gummy kind of substance from the glands present in it, and that those glands actually produce a gum-like substance called as thread. These thread mix with the gummy material in order to form a cocoon. So that means adult possess certain glands which produce thread mixed with a gummy substance, and they form around themselves a you can say a hard white color structure that is called as cocoon. So that means, and you know that this cocoon actually has various threads over it, and we can actually separate those threads. So what are the stages silkworm undergoes? That is silkworm larva, pupa, and then moth. So this is what is a silkworm life cycle. Now the process of separating silk fibers from the cocoon is something called as, we will study that how we obtain. So the thing which is dealing with the development of the silkworms and getting the thread, that is rearing and taking care of the silkworms in order to obtain silk, is called as sericulture. So what is sericulture? The process of rearing and taking care of silkworms in order to obtain the thread, that is the silk, is called as sericulture. Now how the silk is being obtained? So first what we do, like as I told you, female silk moth lays eggs. So first we wash silkworm eggs. So the first step is to wash the eggs of the silkworm. Then after that they are incubated, they are warmed at certain temperature, and when they are so that means when they are given a certain kind of temperature, that means a certain degree of temperature, then the hatching occur. From that hatching, the silkworm larva appears. This larva feed on mulberry leaves for 4 to 5 weeks. They feed on mulberry leaves, and after 4 to 5 weeks they are ready to spin their cocoon. So this is called as spinning. They actually secrete, as I told you, the thread-like structure from their glands, which mix with the gummy substance, and they give rise to a cocoon. Cocoon is something like this, right? So inside the cocoon there is an insect, that is the the silkworm larva is there. Then what happens? These cocoons are put in a boiling water. We separate these cocoons, like when the silkworm secrete the gummy substance with thread, it forms a, you can say, a structure, a hard structure around an insect, and then we separate these cocoons and we just put them in a boiling water. When we put them in a boiling water, what happens? The insect gets killed, which is inside the cocoon, and it dissolves the gummy substance too. Then we get thread, and that is wound on a keel, and this process is called as reeling. So first thing is the spinning, when the larva will actually, you can say, secrete a gummy substance and a cocoon is formed, and then it is followed by reeling. That means we put in a boiling water which kill the insects, dissolve gummy substance, and thread gets separated, and we just make threads that is woven into on the keel. This is called reeling, followed by weaving. That can be done manually also or by use of the machines also. So this is how we obtain silk from silkworm, and you all are familiar that for what purpose it is being used. It is used for making clothes, it is used for making parachutes, and moreover it is used for making bulletproof jackets. These are very important, and you should be like, whenever you get a question like sericulture, you are going to write a definition, that is the process of rearing and taking care of silkworms in order to obtain silk, and then you need to write everything. You can actually club this thing and this thing together also, like as you have seen that washing of silkworm eggs. So you can make the prior point to it that female silk moth lays 400 to 500 eggs, then the eggs are washed and then they are incubated, and from that a larva appears. Then larva secrete, you can say it's feed on mulberry leaves, and then it secrete cocoon. Inside the cocoon it undergoes the changes that it forms a pupa and a moth. Then we separate cocoon, put in the boiling water which kill the insects, and gummy substance dissolve, threads appear, and threads are just you can say woven on the keel. It's followed by spinning, reeling and weaving. So this is what is the life cycle of silkworm and how the silk is obtained from the silkworm. So this is what is the silk.